we can chat afterwards too.
Okay.
About other things. Okay, here we are. We're live. Welcome everybody. Here we are. It is live Saturday morning with the Team Certainty and Power Network. Saturday morning, July 12th already. Questions and answer session for Google Hangout session for prospective new members and those that are interested in learning more about Empower Network and Team Certainty. We'd like to say welcome this Saturday morning to everybody. We do these Google Hangouts just to let everyone know twice a week. We do them this time period from 11 to 11:30, just Saturday mornings, and we also do them Wednesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. Keep those to an hour. Typically, we have a topic, and these Saturday mornings are designed specifically for questions and answers that come into our support staff during the week from prospective new members, and that's what the button on the side of the broadcast page over here that you're watching this on. Just click that tab button, that support tab, a box will open up, you can ask a question, and it'll go to support will answer it, and then they'll send it to us for the Saturday morning Q&A session, and if they deem it appropriate, and then we'll answer it live, which we have several questions here. Got a few updates too on the iPads too, and a few other things with the Power Network. I have with me today Mr. Iron Dane Richards and Mr. Gary Smith. How you fellows doing?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Okay. Are you there, Mr. Smith?
Yep. Hey, everybody.
Okay. I'm having a little bit of issues with volume, but I think it's my machine. Can you guys hear me okay? Just nod if you can hear me okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Again, thank you. Welcome, viewers, and we'll get started here in just a minute. Current events, guys, you want to talk about anything? I mean, obviously what's on everybody's mind right now, and a good shout out to our international viewers. We have a large international audience base, just due to the nature that our website and Team Certainty, is translated into 72 different languages. But it's World Cup. Brazil takes the field again today for the last time, and we're going to see how they're going to regroup after that Germany, spanking, and see how that turns out. And then tomorrow we have the finals. We have who's in the finals? It's Argentina and Germany, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone's expecting Germany to take it pretty easily. The way they dismantled Brazil the other day was, somewhat embarrassing. But teams like that happen. When other teams are in the zone like they were, it's hard to. I mean, they actually let up. I mean, it wasn't even close to 7-1. I watched that game, and and for me to watch, an hour of or 90 minutes of soccer, it's got to be, something's going on. But you guys catch any of it?
Well, a little closer to home, our Little League guys from Caldwell, Idaho is having a state tournament this weekend. Started out with 16 teams, and it's down to 8 teams, and our 10-year-olds and our 12-year-olds are still in it. So that's thrilling to me. I'm going over to Boise at 2 o'clock today. My 12-year-old powerhouses dropped one yesterday to East Boise by 1 point. And, so I'm thinking that's going to be the championship game is East Boise and Caldwell. So. Fun stuff, I'm telling you, fun stuff. Been a long time since Caldwell made a good stand in a state tournament. We get through this, we can go to regionals. We get through regionals, and we're going to the Little League World Series.
Just out of curiosity, Gary, I asked you the other day on our other hangout, weather you're having up there. When does it actually start getting cold?
Oh, I don't know. Well, our winters have kind of switched. We used to November, December, and have tons of snow in December, and now it stays pretty nice through November and December now, and we don't really get into winter until January, February, March.
Yeah.
And we have snow this year in April. I mean, it's weird. It's like we've shifted 2 months.
I'm just curious, because it's weird. Chicago's got record cold temperatures this weekend because of some blasts. I mean, they're down in the 40s.
Wow.
In Chicago, and they were just in the hundreds a few days ago. Anyway, viewers don't want to hear any of that nonsense. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and get started. And again, welcome viewers. This is our Saturday morning questions and answer session here at Team Certainty Power Network, and we're going to go ahead and get started now. Gary, I'm going to ask you the first question. This viewer asks, let's see. Well, this is a really good question. You guys have many ways to make money online. Of all the ways, what one way do you enjoy the most? That's a good question for all three of us to answer, I think. So, but you go ahead and start with that one,
okay.
Mr. Smith.
I saw that up there, and so I've been kind of thinking, it's funny because, all of the ways are enjoyable, but some are more so than others. One of my as anybody watched this hangout, that I deal on eBay, and I kind of let my eBay thing slide. I was back in Kansas City for a year and everything last year, and I kind of let it slide a little bit, and so I crawled back in there. It was doing between 20 and 60 a day, and that just don't cut it, for the inventory that I have. And so I crawled in there and started making some changes and doing some things, and it did $127.01 in one day, and that was more thrilling to me than anything I've had in a long time. It just tickled me to death. Why? I have no idea. And well, I do too. I think it was just that you can set this stuff and reset it, and then go to bed and wake up in the morning, and there it is. And that is just fun. I don't know, if anybody's ever experienced that, and when you do get to that point. And with some of these products that Empower Network has, I've woke up in the mornings, with eBay, it's hundreds. I wake up and, there's hundreds in my account. And, that since that 127, I've been pushing this thing for about 2 weeks, and it's been all over the map, 300 and 400 and stuff a day. And it's just thrilling to do that. And if you've never experienced that, that is the biggest thrill. So it's not any really one thing. And with Empower Network, I've woke up to thousands sitting there, anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000. I had one that was 5,000. And that is just really thrilling. If you've never witnessed that or felt that or gone through that, how exciting that is. And with this new stuff coming on board with Empower Network and the iPass 2 system, you're very easily going to wake up to days like that multiple times, and that to me, folks, is the funnest thing ever. It's so funny that $127.01. We had stopped at a store down here and got coffee, and they had a new roll of pennies, I guess. Boy, them things were shiny, so I took one of them and I put it up on one of the pictures, that 1 penny. It's just funny what tickles you and stuff, and once you get in this and start feeling some of that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very enjoyable, a lot more so than my brick and mortar businesses that do a lot more than that. I don't know what the difference is, how to differentiate the two apart from each other. I think it's just that, like building the eBay store in the cloud. I have a virtual store that's absolutely huge. It was so much easier to build than a brick and mortar business. It's just unbelievable. And this thing's huge, and it's just kind of a virtual store in the cloud, So, and then to actually see that produce money and make money, and that's exactly what you do with Empower Network. You build that presence in the cloud. You can make yourself just bigger than life.
It's true, and this is really, really a good question the more I think about it. But I want to add just a couple comments in here that I'd like to hear Mr. Ironday and Richard's response to the question. But, it's one of the things, and you make a good comment there, Gary, about, it's rewarding and everything else, and the comfortable, good feeling and everything else. There's the type of people that, that talk about wanting to be their own boss and can't stand their job and everything else. Love that comfort of that weekly paycheck or monthly paycheck they get, but working for somebody else, whatever it might be, whether you're at Shell Oil or, Continental Airlines or United Airlines or government, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? But I can't afford to go out on my own and do these things over here because I get away from this comfort zone of getting this paycheck as measly as it might be, and the commitments and my whining about everything and everything else, but I still get that paycheck, and I can't do that to my family. I can't do it. My wife would tell me all these other things, the excuses you can make on yourself, and so they never go out and venture on their own. Others that try it and don't go in with the proper, perspective of saying, look, this isn't going to be easy. It's going to take, a year or 2 years, but I'm going to do what it takes to get to the other side and make a success of this, whatever it takes. They go in for 2 weeks and they say, I got to go find a job now. I can't do this. They're gone. So it's really, in our team, and when every team has this, we have members that jump in and try and just give up because they don't have what it takes to be trained and everything else, and that's perfectly fine. I understand that. That's part of nature. I'm more desirable to have them take the leap and try, because they may come back and do it later on. When their head gets straight and they see, if that nonsense guy, there can do it, then why can't I? I'm talking about nonsense guy being me. Then why can't I? So it's a philosophy of going about it and doing it that way, but it's not easy. But it's all up here, and seasoned guys like us, that have had many failures, in life, recognize a winner. And Empower Network and the structure they have is a winner, and that's why we can excel at it, because we understand it. We understand what it takes to be successful. We've been very fortunate about it. I'm going to answer that question from my perspective after Mr. Iron Dane Richards. So, Mr. Iron Dane Richards, the question the viewer asked was, you guys have many ways to make money online. Of all the ways to make money, what one way do you enjoy the most?
Oh, I was going to say, Empower Network's one of the easiest and the fastest and the funnest, because, once you just get your name out there, it seems that people just go ahead and sign up, and then you get a nice little, confirmation, and then, you may do some little interaction with them. But, that's one of the funnest and the easiest ways of doing it. Yeah, sure, I sell a lot of books, and I have interaction with the people that buy books, but the Empower one it's a little bit different interaction, because it's working as a team spirit, that these people are trying to do something as a team. And I think that's what brings the real attraction to me on that, is the fact that you're doing something to help somebody else out. You're being of service. So, but the one thing you were talking about just a little earlier, that I just wanted to jump in with a little quote, when some people say, well, I think it's impossible for me to do this. This is a great quote from, what was it? Audrey Hepburn said it. She goes, impossible, spell the word. It's I am possible. So everything is possible. I am possible.
You're Richard.
Yeah, I love that one. It just came to mind when you were saying think about it like that. But, everything's possible if you put your mind to it and don't give up. There's times where I've run into the brick wall 101 times and thought my skull was going to get a lot thicker and never stop bleeding. But you know what? If you don't keep going, folks, you'll never find the opportunities. Because opportunities are out here. You just got to let them manifest it, and you got to take advantage of them when they put themselves in front of you.
The opportunity presents itself. Yeah. I'll answer the question real quickly and we'll move on. But this is a really good question. This actually might be the topic for our next Wednesday deal, because we could go on for hours and hours on that question. And it's a lot. The response is great, and I think it's very good for prospective new members as well. That's just my opinion, but we'll discuss it and see what works out best. But let me answer it in my way. And this is really a good deal, because each one of us is answering this question, which is asked the same way to each one of us. We're responding 3 different ways, and this is my way. The question is, you guys have many ways to make money online. Of all the ways, which one way do you enjoy the most? Okay, now, you can say Empower and everything else. I'll tell you my one way. My one way I enjoy the most is passive, where I don't have to do any damn work. That's my favorite way of making money online, is where I don't have to do any work. And I'm very spoiled in my seasoned career. That I don't really like small numbers too much. It's just I interpret too much work with the small numbers, and the small numbers I'm talking about are, just small numbers. I'd rather sell one large item and earn a big commission than 100 small items. Now, I have to tell you, the philosophy of that, in the last 5 years has changed. It's due to the economy. It just doesn't work as well as it did years ago. But I think that's changing in a lot of areas, and we're blessed, obviously, with Empower Network. But I tell you, my two favorite ways of making money. I like AdSense, believe it or not. I like AdSense. People may laugh at that. That's perfectly fine. I laugh at that all the time. But guess what? I cash in at the bank, and I've been doing it long enough to know how to do it. And I make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars passively off AdSense. It's not hard to do. You spend 6 hours the first day of the month, and that's it. Don't do anything else. Until the 21st when you get your paycheck from AdSense and go from there. The other side of the coin, I like, again, large numbers. I like $25,000, $30,000 commissions. So that means the items that I have to deal with are relatively large items. Now, in between that, you got Empower Network, which actually is a combination of all that, and that's why it's so appealing to me. And I'll close on this and say that on this coming Wednesday, hopefully this will be the topic. I'll be able to expand on that even more. But the components that Empower Network brings to the table, 100% commissions and unlimited inventory to resell. Free unlimited inventory to resell, and you get 100% of the profits, 100% of the sale proceeds, in most of the cases. That is above and beyond anything else you'll find out there when you're starting a new business. So those are the areas. Sorry to spend so much time on that one question. We've already blown half this hour, but but it's really good stuff.
No,
it's really good stuff.
I think it's good. I think the key there is the enjoy part.
Yeah.
I mean, do you enjoy getting up and getting dressed and going and doing your commute and fighting traffic to make your mundane paycheck? Nobody enjoys that. I mean, some people that maybe enjoy their job. My boy last night was talking about a lottery director for the state of Idaho, and in the requirements, you are to live less than 5 minutes away from that store. I mean, basically, you need to be available to pop down there at any time. I mean, you're going to marry that job. Yeah, it paid pretty good. I can't remember what he said right now, but who wants to be lassoed that way?
Yeah.
That's the part I enjoy, getting up and walking to my computer going, damn, this is already a good day.
You know what?
Exactly.
Enjoyable.
You know what the acronym is for the word job is?
Just over broke.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Or
Okay,
journey of the broke. I've heard it being the journey of the broke. It's even worse.
Journey of the broke. Yeah, that's even better. Let's move on because we got some viewers that really want to get some of these other questions answered, and we've got a few more up here. This one goes to you, Mr. Iron Dane Richards. Let's throw one over at you. I guess one is directed to you as well. To Mr. Iron Dane Richards, I heard a rumor you were going to Brazil in December. Is that true? Is this for Empower Network or something else? They must have seen it in one of your blogs or comments.
I am going to try to get down there this December. And one of the big points is to do a rally for Empower Network, and I'm hoping you two guys will go along. But I do have some business that we're discussing down there, and in aircraft, so it'd be wonderful. I mean, I think it'd be great to go down there and start seeding an area of the population that hasn't really been exposed to the Empower Network. And the great part of it is if you're in Brazil and you come down and visit with us and we have a little rally there, an event, you'll be the first to really get started on the top of this whole thing, and that's going to be great potential for anybody, when we do start expanding out. But yeah, the anticipation is December.
It's interesting that question made it in. I'm sure that support must have got it a couple times. You've talked to me about this, not recently, but in the weeks past, and I'm interested in going. And it's one country I've never been to. I've never been to Brazil. I'd love to go. For numerous reasons, and obviously Empower Network's right at the top. So that's real interesting. I guess Gary stepped away from his desk for a minute. Yeah, okay. Let's get these. I'm just going to go ahead and answer these last two questions. Okay. Yeah, it's just they're real simple, and then we can talk about some iPass 2 and some other things. This viewer is asking, where's the next Empower Network event and when is it? The next Empower Network event is in Orlando, and I'm sure it's going to be at the Hyatt, wherever the Hyatt is there in Orlando, and it's in October of this year. It's the last event in 2014, and my guess is it'll be right around the 17th of October. Don't quote me on that. I haven't been in the back offices of Empower Network in the last 48 hours. I mean, I doubt they have it up anyway. It wasn't up then, but it's in October, and it's going to be in Orlando, and it should be. I mean, it should be the biggest one they've ever had before. Of course, we'll all be there, and we've talked about putting on a training seminar before that, and we'll as we get closer to that date, we'll be able to discuss that just a little bit more with everybody. And the last question here before we talk about some house cleaning and iPass 2 is this viewer is asking about our good friend Mr. Mike Tweeter.
Oh.
And I just asking how he is, where is he, and so forth. And I talk to Mike periodically, and he's doing fine, and he's doing real well. And he just had some clients that he wanted to focus on, and little parts of his business that he wanted to focus on. He hasn't left Empower Network. He's just he's devoting more of his time to his family, and he's made a good living, and certainly can be rewarded for him. His health is fine. He's doing good, and his family's growing. I'll just leave it at that. And they're doing very well, very well. So we expect to see him back from time to time here. And but to answer to the viewer's question, he's doing fine, and all is well with him. Moving on to iPass 2 and some of the things we can sneak in here before we have to leave is that we have been, I've been advised, via the traditional emails and messages from Chris Jones regarding iPass 2, and I'm somewhat surprised it hasn't been opened up to the public by now. There's some beta testers that are using it now and doing well, but and everything for the most part the infrastructure is in place. We've seen it, we've gone through it, we've gone through the back office, we've tested it and everything else with Chris Jones. So and he's put out videos showing all of this. So we'll see when it gets announced. But my gut feeling is this: is that the next announcement we get from Chris Jones is going to be either iPass 2 is open, ready for new business, or on this specific date it's going to be open. It's no more of this delay stuff, and that's my opinion on what's going to happen. Have you guys heard anything recently at all?
I haven't.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's how he's going to want to handle it, and I know he's beyond anxious in regards to getting it set up, and many hours and a lot of money's gone into getting it to where it is now. So, but he's somewhat of a perfectionist, and he's very adamant and very open about saying, he's not going to release it to anybody until it's perfect. Well, it's never going to be perfect. And I know he knows that. So, but he doesn't want to have to change a whole lot of stuff when it gets out. But we'll see how it goes. But I do expect we get a lot of questions every week on iPass 2. And a lot of us are not sitting around waiting, but we're not going to. We have our budgets set aside that are designed specifically for iPass 2. And that's where we want to spend the money. But we can't spend it if it's not open. So the money just sits there doing nothing, and not doing nothing. But it's worth, in my opinion, it's worth saving. And once this iPass 2 does come out, boy, you talk about promoting. This team will heavily promote. iPass 2 because I do know what it's capable of. And I've seen it, I've used it, and I know what it's capable of doing. From the various high level of iPass 1 black level to the black level of iPass 2, which is where we're at as well. So the sooner that gets out, the better. Other than that, I don't really have anything else. there's been some new updates to the income boards on level 2 and level 3 in the back office. Other than that, everything's status quo and moving along as usual. And new members signing up into the back office of Team Certainty daily now that are not IPAS or are not Empower Network members, and that's an issue that's being resolved as well. So we really don't want to make Team Certainty available unless you're in Empower Network. It's designed specifically for that. That's the angle we want to take. That's where we want to go. So it's just at this stage, if you're not an Empower Network member, to be part of Team Certainty unless you are Empower Network. So you guys have anything else, or we can just go right straight into closing comments. Gary, you want to launch off?
Yeah. This has been a fun one, folks. The main key here is, enjoyment. It's everybody is just so busy anymore, and I had somebody say that the other day, that it just seems like everybody's running with a shorter fuse anymore, and I know what that's all about. I mean, it's just an expensive world and a very busy world, and that tends to wear on people, and just always busy and no time for fun and stuff, and that's kind of what separates the online crowd away from the others. We control our own lives and our own destinies and stuff without all the pressure of the outside world. You start out in this and you slowly eliminate those pressures, and to where you don't have to have them anymore. So this has been a fun hangout. It's good stuff, and yeah, I think you're right, Mike. We can talk about this again Wednesday a little bit more, and have a little time to think about it and everything. And it's just fun creating this stuff, I tell you, and it's so rewarding and so enjoyable, even though the numbers may not be there in the beginning to completely support you. You have to start somewhere, and get the growth going and get the growth happening. That is the thing. You do a Google search on anything and look at the numbers of results. It's such a huge number that 20,000 of them come up, and the other 70,000 results that came up on that keyword don't even show, because there's so many. Well, that's the part that you're in when you start out. You're in that 70,000 that doesn't show, and one of the takeaways from this hangout, to get yourself started and get in that to where you can get up in that top percentage and have yourself start being seen. Brand yourself as an expert in something, and get it going. Start branding, start promoting, and you got to start somewhere. That's that simple, and if you're looking for the enjoyment, start somewhere until you find that enjoyment, and you will. I'll guarantee you will if you work at it. Okay, take care, everybody.
Yeah, folks, I'll tell you, doing anything that you're doing on the online is just like the slogan they use for the lottery tickets. You can't win if you don't play. And that is the truest thing of it, whether it's a lottery ticket or making money online, folks. You can't win if you don't play. So the buttons down here, you can play today. I guess that's my my little addition to that, folks. But it's been great having you here, and we look forward to having you visit on Wednesday. But go ahead and use the button down below. Get signed up. Okay.
Good. Well, I think we will use that question that went into Mr. Gary Smith this morning, for our topic.
Cool.
On Wednesday night. So, those that are viewing right now, and whether live or on replay, tune into us on, I guess that'll be the 15th? Mm-hmm. 12th, 13th, 16th. It'll be the 16th. And 7/16, July 16th, a hangout, to answer that question. And because we'll spend the whole hour answering that one question. And trust me, I could run on for a couple hours on that one question alone. But it's all good stuff, especially for new members, prospective new members, on how we make money. I mean, what are our most desirous ways to make money, and how we do make money, and the rationale behind it all, as well. And that's with and without Empower Network, so that's what this Wednesday night. And we certainly thank you, viewers, for tuning in to us tonight. And I thank you, Mr. Gary Smith, Mr.
You're welcome.
For today, and good luck to Germany, good luck to Argentina, both, and their fans. Hopefully it's a safe game tomorrow, and we'll see Brazil today, and Netherlands or Belgium, I guess it is, as well, and Holland, I guess, is how they are calling it now from Brazil. So, but the big game is tomorrow, and it's Germany and Argentina, and it should be. I hope it's a safe game for everybody. Nobody gets hurt, and there's no nonsense either there. But thanks for viewing. Spending this half hour with us this morning. And again, we do these Google Hangouts twice a week. We do them this time period from 11 to 11:30, and as well as Saturday. We're back here on Wednesdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. And if you're watching us live or on a replay, one of the broadcast page, YouTube channels, or even possibly listening on one of the radio stations we broadcast on the internet, thank you again for taking the time. And hopefully we gave you a good hour or a good half hour's worth of laugh and content. And we'll see you here next time, same place. Thanks everyone. Have a good weekend. Take care.
Bye now.
Take care, everybody.